Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 224 based on novel. So let's start. Every time a crisis happened for the white-haired man, he would form a statue. When he broke free, his appearance would change and he would become a lot younger. From the old man at the start, he turned into a middle-aged man and now was a youth. This bizarre scene caused all of the surrounding cultivators to feel creeped out. Wang Lin's body revealed a serious expression as it stared at the young man. When this person appeared, his right hand touched the broken statue. The statue immediately melted, turned back into the spear, and went to the young man's hand. This youth looked at Wang Lin with a gloomy smile. His body flickered and merged with the world, disappearing without a trace. In the next instant, the youth appeared next to an illusory yin cultivator far away. The illusory yin cultivator's expression changed greatly and he quickly retreated. Not only him, but all of the surrounding cultivators retreated. The smile on the youth's face became even more grim as he thrust out his spear. A ripple appeared in the void, and not far away, the illusory yin cultivator's body was forced out. His face was pale and he was going to continue to flee, but then his body immediately trembled. His body exploded with a bang and his flesh and blood were sucked into the youth's mouth along with his origin soul. Even the skin and bones, the blood and flesh, nothing remained. All of this happened in the blink of an eye. The youth's body flickered once more and his movement was unpredictable as he moved through the surrounding cultivators. Every time he appeared, a cultivator would die. The mysterious old man controlling Wang Lin let out a cold snort and charged out like lightning. His right hand formed a seal as he pointed toward the sky and shouted, "Gather!" Rays of purple light appeared from the void and gathered in Wang Lin's right hand. In the blink of an eye, a ball of purple light formed. Rich, purple light came from the ball, and there was thin mist inside it, making it extremely gorgeous. Scatter! A hoarse shout came from the Wang Lin's mouth as the purple ball of light immediately collapsed. A shockwave began to surge out in all directions. This shockwave contained origin energy. When it spread out, all of the surrounding cultivators felt a powerful impact hitting their bodies. This force was so strong that all of the cultivators rapidly retreated. Even Shengong Hu, John Conlai, and company were the same. In almost an instant, an opening of 5 kilometers appeared, leaving only Wang Lin and the youth. That youth licked his lips and a hint of red appeared on his face. Although his time was short, he had devoured more than 20 cultivators. His eyes lit up. Instead of continuing his battle with Wang, he charged toward the other cultivators. Wang Lin clearly heard the old man inside him curse. His body charged out and shouted, "The Grand Celestial Lord Qing Shui is willing to devour juniors just to recover his cultivation? If you are really capable, come and fight with this old man so you don't disgrace yourself anymore." The youth was startled as he turned around. His eyes were filled with killing intent as he slowly said, "I'm not Qing Shui." "Bullshit, you are Qing Shui. Qing Shui. Qing Shui." The old man's voice continued to come out from Wang Lin. The killing intent in the youth's eyes became stronger as he let out a cold snort. He turned around and continued to chase after the escaping cultivators. The old man inside Wang Lin sighed. The heir of the country of clear water can't even remember his own name, it is really sad. However, the youth was unmoved as he disappeared and continued to devour cultivators. Wang Lin could clearly see the disgust on the old man's origin soul, and he disappeared into the void. When he reappeared, he was next to an ascendant cultivator far away. "If you're going to devour, then I'm going to drive them away." Wang Lin's body moved. Under the ascendant cultivator's fearful gaze, Wang Lin's body kicked the cultivator. A powerful force appeared around the cultivator's body. The cultivator actually merged with the world and disappeared in an instant. Wang Lin didn't stop. After he kicked away the cultivator, he appeared next to another and sent out a kick. Just like this, Wang Lin and the youth gave up on their battle and moved at their top speeds. One was devouring while the other was driving people away. They were competing with their speed. As Shengong Hu escaped, he began to teleport. However, his teleportation was immediately interrupted and he was forced out of the void. At the same time, the evil youth appeared beside him and the youth's hand reached toward his head. Shengong Hu's face was filled with viciousness. He was an arrogant person, and his hand quickly formed a seal and a bolt of thunder appeared in his hand. This thunder was dark red. The moment it appeared, it caused ripples to appear in the void as if countless strands of thunder were gathering from all directions. Shengong Hu only had one strand of this thunder, and it was the peak of his cultivation. He was only able to obtain this after obtaining enlightenment form Wang Lin. He had spent years searching for the origin of thunder and had continued to refine it inside his body all this time. After several years, he was able to form only one bolt. This thunder was also not complete, which was why he didn't use it in the battle before. This thunder was the greatest secret in his heart. It was because of this thunder that he believed in Wang Lin. In his mind, Wang Lin's guidance was very accurate. He was confident that as long as he refined this thunder for a long time, one day he would be able to find the origin of thunder. However, at this moment of life and death, he had no time to think about anything else and decided to use this thunder. Even the evil youth was surprised when he saw this thunder. However, the cold grin didn't weaken at all as his hand directly reached out. Shengong Hu let out a roar as the thunder shot out from his hand. The moment the thunder shot out, it gave off a red glow. The youth let out a cold snort and directly caught this bolt of thunder before crushing it with his hand. Shengong Hu took this chance and retreated without any hesitation. At this moment, Wang Lin saw Shengong Hu from a distance. Although he couldn't control his body, he could communicate with the mysterious old man. Save him! Wang Lin's origin Su-El sent out a message. The old man's origin soul let out a snort but didn't refuse. After kicking away the cultivator next to him, he merged with the world and reappeared next to Shengong Hu. His right hand formed a seal and collided with the incoming evil youth. A loud rumble echoed, then the evil youth retreated a few steps and Wang Lin retreated as well. However, as he retreated, he sent a kick at the excited Shengong Hu. Shengong Hu was filled with excitement as his body flew through the air, merged with the world, and disappeared. The evil youth coldly looked at Wang Lin, and with a flicker of his body began to divide. He continued to split, and in the blink of an eye, the 32 clones that were destroyed in the battle earlier reappeared. After the clones appeared, they immediately dispersed and each moved extremely fast toward the escaping cultivators. Wang Lin clearly felt the old man's origin soul tremble and let out a roar. He controlled Wang Lin's body and flew into the sky with his arms open. Origin energy began to spread out like crazy into the world, and soon it was as if it had replaced the world. It was as if at this moment, Wang Lin was the world. His eyes revealed a strange light as he muttered, "Celestial spell, disappear." In an instant, origin energy formed around all the escaping cultivators. The voice came out from Wang Lin's body once more. "Celestial spell, scatter." In an instant, all of the cultivators were surrounded by origin energy and forced to merge with the world. It was as if there was a pair of giant invisible hands fiddling with the world. If someone looked from above, they would clearly see the cultivators disappear one by one. In almost the blink of an eye, almost no cultivators remained. Only the youth and his 32 clones remained. Wang Lin obviously felt that the old man's origin soul was very weak and could dissipate at any time. It was like an oil lamp that was running out of oil. Damn it, this time this old man is operating at a loss. The youth's eyes revealed a red glow and he stepped toward Wang Lin. "Since you're seeking death, then I'll fulfill your wish." The youth closed in and threw the spear in his hand. The spear immediately shot forth as a ray of black light toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin's scalp felt numb, and the old man's origin soul barely controlled his body to escape. The evil youth followed closely after and closed in. The mysterious old man controlling Wang Lin's body merged with the world and disappeared in a flash. However, the evil youth behind him also merged with the world and chased after the old man. The two of them were too fast. In almost an instant, they crossed countless fragments. The evil youth gradually revealed a sneer and slowly said, "From the moment you appeared, I knew your purpose was to lead me to your real body. Whatever, I'll go with you and devour you. It will be better at helping me recover than the countless cultivators here." Wang Lin seemed to realize something. When the mysterious old man's origin soul controlled his body to cast spells, the old man only used a small amount of origin energy. The rest was obtained from the world. This kind of spell was very similar to the spell that could extract the souls from everything. It was somewhat similar but much more profound. However, this spell was far beyond Wang Lin's cultivation level. Although he had some comprehension, there was a thin layer he couldn't break through. As the old man controlled his body to quickly move, Wang Lin didn't have time to think about the spells. He was clearly aware that the mysterious old man's origin soul inside his body was rapidly dissipating. In the time it took for just half an incense stick to burn, more than half of the old man's origin soul had dissipated. He was clearly using his origin soul as the price for moving faster. Wang Lin already couldn't clearly feel how fast it was. When his body merged with the world, it felt like time stretched endlessly around him. He was no longer stepping on the void, but on time. This was completely an illusion, but Wang Lin couldn't find another way to explain this kind of speed. This was also because Wang Lin had already grasped the concept of spatial bending, a spell that belonged to second-step cultivators. Although he couldn't integrate with the world like the old man, who could do it as if he was breathing, with enough time to prepare, Wang Lin could still use it. If he was a cultivator at the corporeal yang stage that he hadn't grasped spatial bending, then when the old man sped up like this, his origin soul wouldn't be able to withstand it. On the light side, he would be seriously injured, and in the slightly more serious side, his origin soul would collapse. Even though Wang Lin had a grasp of spatial bending, he felt like his origin soul couldn't withstand traveling in this state for such a long period of time. Under the old man's control, his body never stepped out from being merged with the world. It was as if every part of his body, including his origin soul, were divided into countless grains, and these grains were part of the world. Being merged with the world meant that one could reach all locations in an instant, but there were limitations to this spell. Otherwise, the old man would simply appear where his body was instead of rushing like this. To Wang Lin, this half an incense stick of time felt like a century. During this century, he suffered through a powerful storm that wanted to shred him into pieces. He had to struggle to not be torn apart by the storm. This state was extremely painful, but it contained unimaginable benefit for Wang Lin. As his origin soul struggled in the storm, his feeling of integrating with the world became more and more profound. In the end, it was deeply engraved into his heart and would linger there forever. If other cultivators knew of Wang Lin's current state, a group of them would be very excited. For second-step cultivators, aside from origin energy, another key point was comprehending laws, controlling laws, and manipulating laws, but this was all too vague to explain. Thus, merging with the world became a path to explore the laws. By closely integrating with the world, one be able to explore the laws of the world better. At this moment, the mysterious old man was unintentionally helping Wang Lin. It was like a giant pair of hands was holding Wang Lin's origin soul and was forcing him to merge with the world. While it was painful, the benefits were real. His origin soul became more and more closely merged with the world. It was as if he was originally part of the world. At the same time, Wang Lin's domain also began to merge with the world. His karma domain began testing itself with the world's Tao of karma. On top of his origin soul, his body also obtained benefits. After going through the cleansing from before, his origin energy had fully merged with his body. Under the control of the old man, he was in the state of merging with the world for an extended period of time. His body, like his origin soul, became integrated with the world. These were still not the key points. The key point was that in the process of merging with the world, his body had to dissipate. This was like his physical body had collapsed, but he wasn't dead. Only in his state could he reform his body elsewhere. Being in this process for a long period of time meant that his body had naturally obtained the power of the world's origin energy. It was as if every muscle in his body and every drop of blood were infused with the world's origin energy. Of course, none of this was done intentionally by the mysterious old man. If Wang Lin didn't meet this series of conditions, then the moment Old Man reappeared and left Wang Lin's body, Wang Lin's origin soul would have collapsed and died. Wang Lin and the evil youth rushed through the world. After a little while, Wang Lin's figure appeared on a fragment in the northern end of the Thunder Celestial Realm. At the moment his body appeared, the old man's origin soul dissipated completely and disappeared from his body. Wang Lin regained control of his body in almost an instant. A sense of long-lost familiarity appeared in his heart. After gaining control of his body, Wang Lin controlled the origin energy in his body to come out from his pores without any hesitation. The origin energy formed a vortex and then suddenly exploded. He borrowed the power of the vortex collapse to quickly retreat. At the moment he charged out, the evil youth appeared. His hand was impacted by the explosion before it grasped at the empty space where Wang Lin was. After Wang Lin charged out, he flew into the distance with no hesitation. At the same time, he took out the celestial sword and threw out 8 heavenly chops around his body. There were several cracking sounds and then a large amount of cracks appeared around Wang Lin. An invisible force that was going to imprison him was torn apart by Wang Lin's heavenly chop. Wang Lin's expression was gloomy as he moved even faster and rushed out. He had already suffered before from behind surrounded, and right now he wouldn't suffer from the same thing again. The evil youth's eyes became cold as he looked at the surrounding fragments and frowned. This place was the imperial capital of the Thunder Celestial Realm. It was the core of the Thunder Celestial Realm and the place closest to the ancient Celestial Realm before the Celestial Realm collapsed. Rumor had it that when the ancient Celestial Realm still existed, this was where the ancient Celestials would descend. What exactly is the purpose of that person who also has the power of a Celestial Lord? After pondering for a bit, he glanced at Wang Lin's figure in the distance and raised his right hand. He pointed at Wang Lin and a ball of red light immediately appeared. Countless thin lines appeared and quickly condensed inside the ball of light. Then the ball of light released a bright red glow and shot directly toward Wang Lin. All the hair on Wang Lin's body stood up and he inwardly cursed. If not for the mysterious old man, he would have already escaped. Now the blood body was gone, he could no longer escape. Feeling the sense of crisis, Wang Lin clenched his teeth. He knew escaping was not possible, so he turned around and spat out the fragment stamp to block before him. When the ball of red light touched the fragment stamp, the entire fragment stamp began trembling violently. However, it didn't collapse. But a powerful force came from inside it and landed on Wang Lin's body. His face immediately became pale and he coughed out a mouthful of blood as he retreated from this powerful force. The crisis didn't end. The powerful force passed through the fragment and wave after wave of the force landed on Wang Lin's body. He coughed out blood 3 consecutive times, but his face revealed a fierce expression. It is not that easy to kill me. Wang Lin held the fragment stamp with one hand as he slapped his bag of holding with the other and a screen appeared. The screen immediately trembled the moment it appeared and the mountain and river painting suddenly filled the world. It was as if the entire world became a mountain and river painting. A powerful force came from the mountain and river painting. As Wang Lin's body stood above the mountain and river painting, he felt force that was coming at him dissipate. Then the powerful force from the mountain and river painting went into the fragment stamp and cancelled out the force inside. Mountain and river painting. The evil youth's eyes narrowed, but a moment later, he sneered, "It's a rubbish copy." He raised his right hand and mercilessly swiped it. There was a crisp tearing sound and then the heavens and earth immediately became twisted. Wang Lin's body was forced out from the mountain and river painting. His face turned extremely pale, and he immediately retreated when he reappeared. Back then, I borrowed the mountain and river painting to study for 1,000 years. Even if you had the real painting, with your merely upper celestial cultivation, I could still break it. As the evil youth sneered, he took a step forward and was about to give chase. However, he immediately stopped and his eyes coldly looked at the earth below him. He saw the fragment they were on begin to shake violently. It wasn't just one part of the fragment, but the entire fragment. The shaking was intense, and in almost an instant, countless mountains collapsed. It was as if there was a giant hand grinding away all the protrusions on the fragment. In an instant, the fragment lifted into the air. It was so fast that it closed in on the evil youth in an instant. His eyes narrowed and then he immediately flew upwards. As for Wang Lin, he withdrew his treasures and quickly retreated. His eyes were calm and he didn't look at the fragment. Instead, as he retreated, he attempted to merge with the world. Roars of countless thunder beasts suddenly came from the distance. As the fragment rose into the air, the chains connecting the edge of the fragment began shaking violently. There was a thunder beast above each chain, and they continued to roar as they rose into the air. This fragment rose due to the effort of the countless thunder beasts. At this moment, the fragment Wang Lin and the evil youth were on wasn't the only fragment shaking. In total, 49 fragments, nearly 40% of the Thunder Celestial Realm, began to shake and rose into the air. The fragments formed a very large formation, and the fragment Wang Lin and the evil youth were on was the center. It was an incomparably huge formation in the shape of a plum blossom. All 49 fragments were connected by chains, and every chain was being pulled by a thunder beast that was roaring, pulling, and rising into the air. As a result, it was as if the sound of the fragments being pulled was the only sound left in the celestial realm. Not only were the 49 fragments shaking from the pull of the countless thunder beasts, but they were rotating. The remaining 48 fragments were slowly rotating around the fragment in the center. At first they were slow, but they gradually became faster and faster. The chains connecting the fragments at the edge of the formation to the other fragments had long collapsed and could no longer stop the rotation. Its speed gradually matched the speed of a cultivator flying. As it rotated, a vortex appeared. This vortex was simply too big. All of the mountains on the 49 fragments collapsed. The violent vibrations caused the entire Thunder Celestial Realm to change. In particular, the vortex caused by the rotation of the 49 fragments created a huge hole that contained an unimaginable suction force. Under this suction and vibration, the entire Thunder Celestial Realm trembled and began to truly collapse. This wasn't the collapse of one fragment or the collapse of an area of space. This was the second time such a large-scale collapse had occurred since the first time the Thunder Celestial Realm collapsed into countless fragments. Terrifying cracks appeared in the sky and cold wind came out from the cracks. Countless cracks continued to expand as if it was the end of the world. The cultivators in the Thunder Celestial Realm were filled with unspeakable terror. Even the evil youth was completely stunned. He didn't expect the person who led him here to have such a big move planned. Using the fragments of the Thunder Celestial Realm to make a formation. From the looks of it, I fear it is not something as simple as a formation. Could this person want to refine the Thunder Celestial Realm into a magical treasure? The evil youth sucked in a breath of cold air. Even with his mental strength, he couldn't help but think, madman, in his mind. Wang Lin was dumbfounded. All he could hear was the cracking of space collapsing and the loud rumbles echoing across the entire Thunder Celestial Realm. It was as if countless fragments were colliding with each other, so he immediately slowed down. His surroundings were filled with cracks that swallowed all of the destructive force. This caused his mind to shake and his scalp to tingle. An arrogant laughter echoed through the celestial realm. At the same time, the mysterious old man appeared and excitedly said, "I have entered the celestial realm hundreds of times and planned this for tens of thousands of years. In this world, who else has the courage this old man has? To refine the celestial realm and scheme against the illustrious celestial Lord Qing Shui. Ha ha, who else dares? This old man will use half of the Thunder Celestial Realm as a treasure. Who else will be my match in the All-Heaven Star System? Using this, I can open the spatial barrier, and from then on, my All-Heaven Star System will no longer need the All-Heaven Stone to freely enter the Alliance Star System. Master Zhongshan, when I was forced to leave, I said that one day I would take the millions of cultivators in the All-Heaven Star System and crush the Cultivation Alliance. This video will end here.